Well, it's been a while. And yes, we are still in the kitchen and continue to put our tonic recipe together. Meekness is described by more than one word and characteristic. It is empathetic, respecting, and gentle, and is also willing to listen to instruction, being teachable. If that is not enough of a good thing, there's more. Welcome to Fruity Bites, where the more we taste and see and understand the spiritual fruit, the more attractive it becomes. Walking in the fruits of the Spirit should be very attractive and pleasing to the eye. Why? Because we eat with the eyes first. Adding to the 5th cup of humility, let's add another ingredient, shall we? Take a look at this next ingredient. 2 tablespoons of obedience. Meekness seeks to obey God, even other authorities, for the Lord's sake. Now, if the authorities disobey God and ask us to do that, then we are commanded to obey God first. This is obeying without being preoccupied with yourself, complaining or being irritated about it, or being pushy or crass or rigid. Meekness is the internal submission or happy desire to obey. Consider meekness as the trained ox to the yoke. A yoked ox has its power controlled and is harnessed for good work. But an untrained ox tears the fence down and kicks you in the head. Matthew 11:29 says, "Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls." Here, meek and lowly means humble. Meekness happily serves the Lord, having been trained by his love. To be trained means you must be what this next ingredient is. Let's add that to the jar. 2 tablespoons of teachability, which we have touched on briefly already in part 1. Teachability is being reverent and with an openness to be instructed, discipled, and trained as a big part of the flavor of this tonic. James 1:21 says, "Receive with meekness," or humility, "the engrafted word, which is able to save your souls." He, the Lord God, does this by guiding the meek, those who hold his ways higher and better than their own. Psalms 25 verse 9 says, "The meek he will guide in paths of righteousness, in judgment, and the meek will he teach his way." Here the meek receives his instruction by being teachable. 1 Peter 3:4 says, "Let it be the hidden man of the heart, in that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek, a mild, humble, and gentle, and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of God of great price." Have you ever thought of being meek as an ornament, something that looks attractive? 1 Peter 3 verse 15 says, "But sanctify," that is to make holy, "the Lord God in your hearts, and be ready always to give an answer to every man that asketh you a reason of the hope that is in you with meekness, which is gentle, humble, and mild, and fear, with reverence and respect." So let's do a quick recap. The meekness of heavenly wisdom is willing and eager to learn, and strives to obey in the fear, respecting, and honoring of the Lord God, doing good works and being teachable. This is found in James 3 verse 17. Meekness focuses on not sinning in your anger, but enduring injury and offense with long suffering, being slow to anger. Meekness doesn't demand its rights. It deliberately avoids power and wants to stay humble. Meekness is more concerned about the other person, restoring him or her with a spirit of meekness. Galatians 6:1, "Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such an one in the spirit of meekness," which is gentle, humble, and mild, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted. Wow, this meekness tonic is quite the medicine, isn't it? And being around a meek person can truly be stimulating. Until next time, may we desire to be gentle, humble of mind, like Christ, through meekness, stimulating others around us to be like Christ.